Oh man, we are back in the building. We are back in the building. Saturday morning wake up show, man.
We got a legend with us.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We got the legendary.
Legendary? Oh, man, there you go
she got me
again.
tongue tied. Legendary Jazzy Joyce, man. What's good, Jazzy?
How are you, Ben?
I'm good, man. I'm hanging in there. I can't complain about nothing.
Shouts to your co-host,
August
Styles.
August Styles and Bills.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you too.
I've had the pleasure of being interviewed by Ben before, so I can't believe that he's got. Well, I can believe it. Got tongue twisted and nervous because it's the respect.
Yeah,
Right.
Definitely. And I just mess up all the time anyway, so you know that too.
Can I tell you a secret? I used to mess up a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you become great.
If you don't mess
from
up,
your
you can't.
mistakes.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Can't
Like,
learn from your mistakes.
There's a lot of DJs that I meet in my travels in life, and they're like, I don't really talk comfortably on the mic. I said I never used to either. So
Yeah.
you gotta do it.
But now you gotta talk as a DJ. Don't you guys have to kind of talk on the mic sometime to hype the crowd up, get them going and stuff like that, or no? Not really.
That style of DJing was presented by DJs from uptown like Brucey B, Kid Capri, myself,
Uh-huh.
Right.
Lovebug Starsky, DJ Hollywood, of course the inventor Kool Herc. But there were other DJs who from back then didn't talk as much, but the music spoke for them, such as the Africa Bambatas, Jays. When you think of Red Alert, he really doesn't talk too much. You just know him for spinning most of his
He'll
nights.
say his name in the beginning, and then that's pretty much it. Maybe once or twice he'll say something to you, and then it was over. And you had to have quick fingers with him to do it. Only as people that's
tape.
Yeah, when you tape, and only
Yeah,
older
yeah.
people know this.
Pause tape.
Pause play.
Button,
Yeah, you had to be real quick with that. Like I was
Gotcha.
nice with my fingers back then, man. Like ta.
So that was the start of this conversation. I didn't want to come in and influence it. I'm gonna sit back and allow you guys.
Nah, this is about you right
Have a
now.
conversation.
We having a conversation.
But
Now,
I can't talk about myself. But it started off without, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We just went in talking, just talking.
So now,
that's how.
So now, you've been doing this for quite some time now,
Yes,
right? Like,
yes.
how long have you been on, the turntables? How long have you been doing it?
The time that I mark that I actually started is not the actual start time, but it's the start time for when the universe saw me, and I could, if you go to look it up, then it's there, something that's there. So I
Right.
mark from the first time I recorded a record, which was on Tommy Boy Records,
Okay.
and that was in 1983.
Nice. That's nice. Now you've been a lot of places.
In
Traveling
my
the world,
in my
DJing.
lifetime, with the via the turntables.
Via the turntables.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever gets you there, gets you there.
Yes. When you look back on it, when I look back on my journey, I'm like, the turntables took me a lot of places. Like that, as a young black child coming from one of the poorest places in the world, it didn't seem like it, and it doesn't seem like sections that are economically not as advantageous as other areas. It doesn't, like, if you look at the world now, you don't see it in that sense unless you look at the map economically. Well, anyway, the
Right.
Bronx was going through a lot. Crack era, just a lot. And it was hip hop, the culture was something positive to focus on, and I guess escape from what was outside every time when you had to try to go to school or go anywhere. It's there. So it's like to see people nodding and stuff off of drugs is coming back now, but but it was more prolific back then, so you could really make a visual correlation of the destruction. You know, so they how the change of the drugs, the way they manufactured them differently, they affected the younger people differently, not as in that manner, but the old school heads was just going straight for it, the dope, and versus the cosmetic version of the same drug.
Right.
So they don't make the correlation of that person nodding. I'm doing just as much damage to myself because that's just I'm taking a different form of that.
Right.
But everybody seems to make their addiction be better or worse than the others. But anyway, hip hop was just something to not focus on the destruction. And then we speak, I overheard as I came in and y'all were talking about how black women communicate with black men. And sometimes I think it's as a result of the dysfunction that we all come from.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
The majority of us come from situations that are just dysfunctional from the start. But you know, black people have a tendency to not speak about those things or address certain things or whisper about, you know, she has, or she's this, or he's that. And then, but still the ugliness is there, not being treated or dealt with, or there's a lot of things, even coming up in what we've come up in our lifetimes can be deemed as post-traumatic.
Right. Yep.
When you understand all of the things that are perpetuated.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think it's for you to say that DJing it was a way to get away from that is very important, because a lot of people use music as therapy to get away from the things that they've been going through. So I want to know, like, what was it that inspired you to get into being DJing or a DJ, or was it always the stuff that you were seeing during that time in regards to the drugs and the Bronx and how certain areas were, or was it more than that?
The culture itself was the birth of it, and everybody who was doing it didn't know they were making history. So it's the rawest form of it. I was able to be a part of witnessing it in its rawest form. It was something that was attracting, like I said, despite everything else that was going on. And then as choosing what part of the culture to be a part of, mostly Latinos and stuff were into the breakdancing. If you look at the history, because their body was more, they had like black bodies but shorter versions of a black body, so it was strong enough that
the whole thing going between.
But you don't really look at it like, but you understand. So then it was like, okay, what's this other component? Okay, this rapping thing, right? So I used to be told that I talk white and all these crazy things from when I was younger. So, but I have to thank my mom for what she put into me. She was going to nursing, and then I guess she vicariously was teaching me things, teaching me how to communicate, read, comprehend, and all of these things. So I was intelligent enough to know that I didn't want to rap because I knew that I would be sarcastic. So I was like, I can't do this.
Smart.
You can't rap, then. Don't go into the rap thing, then.
You know.
You're too sarcastic.
Listen, man, I'm not sarcastic. I'm real. There's a difference.
But as we swing the conversation, and no, but let's talk about that. A lot of people don't like the truth.
Nope.
But the truth will save you time.
Right.
A lot of us, and then it goes back. Let's go back to the dysfunction and the truth. We don't deal with a lot of truth, so the dysfunction remains. Yeah.
Yep, and it kicks in.
Yeah. So just imagine this: if the women of color, of any woman who live and function and exist in distress all the time, it's like the way families are divided. Generational divide, like it's a lot that it's a lot that a single black female or a family, a black family, even to stay together, mother, father, everything, is so much. It's a lot that people just kind of brush off. about so that all has a cause and effect on how we deal with each other. And not every situation is one way, same way. Every situation is what it is. There's levels of it, of how bad it is and stuff. But like, I was just saying this on the ride. I was like, imagine if every time when we saw each other and instead of greeting each other like, what's up, my nigga, or whatever, good morning.
Right.
How you did? Like, different, you know what I'm saying? So just the way all of the things that people have been complaining about for the longest, in terms of even with the music, the use of music, like, why do you allow them to talk to you, address each other and talk to, like, use those words, but it was over abused and used. It wasn't, I don't know, it devalued the word because it had a negative
connotation,
right, from when it was used from other races against us. But then we turned around and used it against us.
Again.
Right. Yep.
Again. Now, I'm sorry. Your field is a male-dominated field,
right?
So, how did you carve out your niche and maneuver through and make yourself one of the most legendary DJs? I'm saying in our city, but just throughout the world. How did you manage to do that with it being such a male-dominated field?
I don't know. I guess it was just timing and determination, consistency, and focus. And I didn't know I was making history. We didn't know we were making history. So there wasn't enough people or situations to stop it in time because they didn't believe in it enough.
Right.
And then once it got the momentum that it's too late. The monster was too big, so they didn't know to wrangle it at that time. And then I was obviously smart enough. It's a difference. When my cousin, who did teach me the foundation and the basis of DJing, if I wanted to MC, I had to wait for 7 other. Can we curse? We curse, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
7 other niggas to rap first. Like, when you on the, cause they used to have big, like, niggas used to have big families back then. I got 9 brothers. He has 7 rappers. So it's like, if I want to rap, I gotta wait for these 7 niggas.
Yeah.
So to say something, I'd rather wait, let them practice, cause I still gotta wait for the 7 niggas anyway, and then I would get 5 hours on the turntable.
Yeah, right.
So you see what I'm saying? Right. The wait, I had to wait, but the wait was worth it in the end for me, and nobody else was putting in that time like that in a real.
Yeah.
So that was the edge, you know.
My question is, what's like your top 5 DJs? Your top 5 DJs that you have a top 5?
If I was to have to pick top 5 DJs, I honestly.
I want to throw you on the bus.
No. I mean,
you want a DJs calling you like, why are you pumping me?
No, because my answer is my answer. Like, at different points in my life, just like music. In the 90s, there was a certain person that was the top 5 in the 80s, and then we got 2000s. So, I mean, I just like for them to be talented, whoever I run into, and I don't really got a top 5, but there's some that just, as I've been seeing the newer ones, they develop. I'm just glad when I'm able to have fun as a DJ, because my ear is so critical. Sometimes when I come into environments, I don't even like it to be known that I'm there, because I want to listen to how the DJ is playing without him knowing that I'm there. Because then once I'm known, once it's known, then they change, and I'm like, no, nigga,
I want to hear you.
I was here for about 40 minutes. You didn't know. This ain't really. So, and they don't gotta try to impress me, because a lot of them are mocking anyway. They didn't study, so they're just repeating a lot of what we laid down anyway. They keep telling the same musical story over and over again because they didn't create it. But next question.
Let me ask you this: have you ever been anywhere and you walk in like, yo, what the fuck? And it could be a known DJ, and you like, yo, what is he doing? Like, and you ain't gotta say no names, but you just like, yo, what the fuck?
So I answered your question and didn't answer it. That one was tough. But if it's a friend of mine, I'll whisper in their ear, yo. And they'll know not to take it personal if you're
my friend.
My friend.
Or even if you've been a fake friend for 20 years and I didn't know. My nigga, you sounding crazy. Not that anyone would do that for me, but here we are, Ben, the keepers of the truth.
Yeah. You gotta be honest about it.
Yeah, because
most people don't like it. But,
but
that's true.
Yeah.
Because it's like you gotta respect it. It's like if you got a booger, we sitting here, and I tell you, and then you get mad at me. Like these are scenarios that happen. I'll be like, wait, hun, I just met you. These are your friends. They let you walk around with that. And when you point, like I've done that in certain situations and pointed it out, like, hold up. Deflect that anger.
This is the ones who should have told you.
Right. I just met you. I ain't want you walking around like that. So it's the same thing with any DJ. Matter of fact, am I good?
You good.
But any DJ.
All right, now let's get into some other stuff. Now you got a lot of other things going on too. Like I know you got a shirt line because I'm pretty sure that's one of yours.
Yeah.
You stay fresh, and you used to ride bikes too, right?
Yes, I did. Well, what goes to where we first met.
Yeah.
Painting, I just recently seriously picked up about 3 years ago. It's another form of creative expression. And I named it Need That Rose Gold. Why? Because it started out with a character that I called the Star Baby, which is like a derivative of. This is a derivative of a Star Baby, but it's the crown, the character, and that. So I'm having my second art show.
Nice.
I'm not having it, but I'm going to my first art exhibit in DC in June 14th to the 17th. And it's the Harlem. Look, I wrote my notes. And I got to sign this for you.
Nice.
I sketched it. I know you guys can probably hear it, but this was on the way on my notes. But you can see what it says. Read it real quick. I'll sign it for you. But
says Bowtie Ben.
Oh, she sketched you, Ben.
That
looked just like you.
Yeah, so
That's dope.
She got you good.
That's dope. You definitely got to sign this for me.
We're gonna frame that and put it in.
So 14th through the 17th, Harlem Fine Art Show going down in DC. Yeah, and it's like over 80 other artists are gonna be there. So this is a new environment for me because I'm like a little fish. I'm not. But if I sell one piece, this is the second art show ever. I did my first art show on my own, so I could learn things.
What it's
so
about.
so I'm in the prep. I'm prepping for this, and we're not even in June because I want to already have the art done because that was like one of the crazy things. I was down to the last wire at my own show, so that's what I learned from it. So I'm excited about that. So then, what was the other thing? So we talked about this, and then so I ride motorcycles. And I'm a licensed motorcycle driver. As well, I recently became a licensed barber late in life. It was something on my to-do list. That's why my hair is on a reset. There's no design or anything. Because I kind of was playing around and messing up, and I just was like, dag. So I had to bring everything down to start over. So I could grow back. So I'm letting it grow because my birthday's coming.
Nice.
So to get the clean palette so I can...
Nice.
Get something situated. So anyway, you and I met at the the motocross. Wait, MXF SA.
Yeah, that's it.
Motocross Street Riders
I
Association.
exactly.
No, but it's It's the Street Riders Association Motocross.
Yeah.
I think we got, but
most of it.
Most of it.
I was calling it the BMX.
No,
I was wrong. Sorry.
I can't go on my phone to get the correct one. But I rode. I've even crashed when I was on Hot 97. I was on Hot 97 for 15 years from 1996 on. I crashed. I want to say maybe the first year. 95, 96. I know I crashed in 96.
Oh, wow.
And on my motorcycle on Route 80, we were traveling at about 80 miles an hour. I was focused on the lead bike, wasn't paying attention to the changes in the road. And we boogieing and couldn't make the turn. And but I'm
That's
here.
dangerous too.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I'm here. I broke my collarbone and my clavicle, and I thought I wasn't gonna be able to DJ anymore. Oh, didn't mean to touch the light, but at least I can raise my arm and touch the light.
Yeah, there you go.
Right,
there you
Right. Do you ride?
No, I've always wanted to ride, but I knew if I rode when I was younger, I'd have killed myself because I'd want to do tricks and do all kind of silliness. So I just stayed away. I know me. So I just stayed away from it because I have a few friends that passed away on motorcycles. I have 2 cousins that lost legs on motorcycles. So and this is all in my early 20s. I was like, maybe that's not for me.
Right.
I'm going to stay away from it, but I really do want to learn how to ride. I'm not going to lie. I really, really do.
Can you believe I don't wheelie or anything? I've just
right.
See, I'm stupid like that. I would just go
You
ahead
pop a
and
wheelie?
I'm a pop a something. I'm a pop a collar, pop a wheelie. I'm gonna do something. I know me.
All of that takes time. It's just the same way that I learned how to DJ. You gotta put the time in. Anybody that learns a craft, by the time you see them before you got. See, we didn't even calculate the years before. Before I say it. So it's time in.
Yeah.
And I don't. We older.
Yeah.
Our bones hit that concrete.
It's over. I'm not getting up. I know I'm not getting up.
My mom's bought a bike just so she could learn how to ride, right? So she taught herself how to ride. She was going. She fell. She got a mark right here. But my dad was like, "That's it. You need to sell that bike. That's it." So she always go, "This is my motorcycle mark."
I'm glad she's well and okay. I mean, it's a life that's no joke.
Right.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The reality of that bike life, if you're in it, it's an expensive hobby, and the only way that you truly enjoy it, which is with anything I say, is that if you ride with the acceptance that you may not come home.
Wow.
That's the only way.
That's the truth.
You gotta crack that throttle, throw that bike around. You gotta understand.
Definitely
because there's nothing else. If this is a car, you on a bike, what you gonna do?
Right, exactly.
So it's sometimes, most of the time, the brake is not your friend. So you gotta crack that throttle and whoop, whoop, whoop. But you gotta understand, you just out there.
Yeah.
It's just you.
And that's why I want to ride bikes.
But if you,
on that.
the moment that you hesitate may be the moment that you die.
Nah.
Because of the hesitation. But when you understand what it is, you're not gonna hesitate. Those are split-second decisions that you gotta make, and you gotta stick to it.
Yeah.
Even if it's looking like I shouldn't have went over here.
Right.
You gotta keep. You gotta go
about it.
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's why a large percentage of the people who do enjoy motorcycle riding are people who have a tendency to be under a lot of pressure. So it's an adrenaline rush that's a high and a rush that's not narcotics, like bad drugs.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, a lot of people who ride are, like I said, high pressure job people, entertainers, police officers, lawyers, all these kind of people that usually they don't have any other kind of stress release. One thing that I learned, a lot of people who jog, see, black people don't jog a lot.
I do.
No, but I'm talking about marathon jog.
Oh, no.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that
I
marathon.
have one
level.
cousin.
Except
Who
when I'm chasing my son, that's a marathon.
He was talking about a 5K run, and I was like, we got a
But
1K
that's
one.
5K. 28 strong with his 28 miles.
Yeah,
so
28 miles.
So and she is very intelligent.
Yes.
Right.
She's
so
actually
now,
a principal of a school.
See, what did I say? High level stress. High. Something else for her to focus on. Something else to help her body decompress.
Right.
And all of the things that she's dealing with.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Right.
So
I never thought about it that way.
You didn't associate it with it. Okay.
Right.
And then when you look at like some of her peers that she may train with, or if she trains by herself, it doesn't matter. All of those people who run, their jobs are jobs that are something else on their mind.
Right.
And that's their thing. Because what drives you to, you see them, I was living on the route, the marathon route here in New York for a couple of years in one of my lofts. Because I had to have a loft because of my record collection. So I couldn't just live in regular situations. So anyway, it was by the point of where they come across the Bronx into Harlem.
Yeah.
Oh, right there, 138th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I live right in Riverton. So I used to watch them run past me every time.
So when you think of them coming to you at Rivington area, when they come past you, they've already ran for 20 miles.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're pretty depleted. So at that point is where they need you most in terms of encouragement, voices. And the first time I went to cheer them on was when I first came into the neighborhood. And I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And a lot of them, they'll have their names on their shirt or whatever. And you can say their name, Mike, come on. And they'll pop up because they are 20 miles in to beating their body up. But it's what they need because there's nothing else that's giving them a rush,
push,
right? To counteract the pressure. So we all have these habits and hobbies.
And yours is besides motorcycle riding.
Late in life, I started smoking weed.
Oh, that's always a good decompression.
I have Crohn's disease, so I realized that it could help stimulate appetite and stuff like that. That's why a lot of times people see me, they like, oh, you lost weight and this and that. And yes, I'm slim, but I'm 50 years old, and this is one of the most healthy, healthy times of my life. Yeah. But I got, someone said I was ugly under the comments posting for this show, and it has not. It was a comment. It's probably still there, or maybe she deleted it from a private page. But they were like, "Oh, you're so ugly," and I was like, "Well, not as ugly as you are on the inside."
Right.
And I'm like,
right.
I said my hair, and I explained. I was like, recently licensed barber. I messed up my own hair, and
people just have something to say.
There's something to say.
Why are you on my page worrying about what I look like? Get on your page and worry about what you look like. The fuck out of here.
Fix your damn self.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
How long? Go ahead. Because I don't want to take the energy of this. Go ahead.
I wanted to know, like, as a DJ, and you said, like, you listen to the sound. Like, you're just tuned into the sound when you go into events and you're hearing other DJs, right? And like you were giving examples of lawyers, like lawyers listen to words, and once they hear a word or something, that's when they're going off, right? What is it that you're listening to? Like, what is it that you're getting into when you're DJing? Like, I've seen DJs just go into a zone. What is it? Yeah. What is it that's just getting you into it?
Yeah, what gets you into your zone?
Well, I'm at a different level than most, so my processing starts way before I even enter the room. I already know the first song that I'm going to play for something that I'm doing in August.
Okay.
Right. So,
and the reason why I already know and have two other options is because I know the DJ that's going to play before me, and I know who's going to play after me. So what month are we in?
May.
So my thought process is totally different.
Right.
Okay.
That's
so
dope.
now, when I'm in the room,
yeah,
it's totally different. Each environment is different. Each room is different. If I'm playing for a kiddie party, it's not going to be the same way I present for a wedding. Maybe the same music, but brought in differently in a different way. So what I listen for is not what the average person is listening for, because the average person is not thinking the way that I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Even what time my set is determines where the liquor is in people's body. How long they've been in the room determines how I'm coming in as well. How I'm going to affect how they're feeling. So you see the thought process.
Right.
The master.
It's a lot of that goes into it. That's why he's evil genius up here, because he's just always thinking about it.
Yeah, you can't really, especially if he's amazing in terms of bouncing off on y'all. He's really paying attention to y'all more than you realize. Even I'm paying attention to him as well. Even though I can't hear the playback because I don't have it, but I'm aware. Right. I heard him when he played It's My Beat. I could tell from the beats, but I'm still talking to y'all. But that's how his mind works as well. He's aware of y'all, but still omnipresently aware of things. So that's why a lot of times he'll be quiet, or he'll not want to be bothered. Or a DJ, for example, on the pack up, if we're packing up, a lot of times DJs don't really want to talk to you. They don't want to take a picture. It's because how much is an iPhone charger wire? Just the wire. Just the iPhone charger wire.
That's right.
No. The charger computer.
Just this.
Just the cord.
Power cord for the computer.
It's like
for the computer.
$60.
Yeah.
That's basically $100. Yeah. Because if you gotta go run and get it at the last minute, that's $100. So that is just one wire. One wire away. Why he's a snoot, stank energy to you in a sense, but he's really not.
Yeah, I got you.
Because he wanna.
Yeah. That makes sense. Because the other day I was like, "You want me to put this here?" He's like, "No, just keep that right there."
Because he has his whole process of where he need to put his wire so he don't forget it. Everything. So
I was like, "Why is he packing like that?"
But it's now I help explain it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now you can start cussing OG.
And just let him have his minute. But that's what in life, with everything, if we could find a way to get a metaphor to understand what a person is going through, then you have a better understanding of what they're going through.
Right.
And then you could treat things different, which goes back to all of the dysfunction, the communication between young, old, male, female, ourselves as a people, and then outside of ourselves.
Right. I got you.
So my question is, it's a young lady out here aspiring to be a professional DJ. What advice would you give?
Be a doctor.
Why you say that?
Because I've been at it for 30, right? It takes 8 years to be a doctor.
Right.
Imagine if what I've done, if I put in that energy into something else.
Yep.
You know, because it's not to not to discredit my experience, but look, I'm one of how many. And I got a story to tell because I started so early. So there's in between, there's people with stories, but I got a longevity story to tell. But I'm one of how many?
Yeah, it's really not that many female, because I remember you from the Savoy in the Bronx, like going there and stuff like that.
Oh, he's showing his age right now.
So
he always
I
always get on.
I don't care. The fever and stuff like that. Like
I was too young to play in the fever, but I was kind of around. It was the very early stages, but I've done a lot.
Yeah, you have. So like,
and it's
from there to where you at now, like that shit is awesome.
But imagine if I was a doctor.
We wouldn't know you, so
yes,
I wouldn't be having this interview.
Yes,
you know her as a doctor, famous doctor.
Yeah, I would have, because I probably would have, because it's the same dominated field of back then from when I was starting, and then I would have been dealing with racism on the forefront, but I still would have been driven to be talented. That's the thing. It's something inside of us, that the ones that are winners and want to be winners and just you know what you want to do with your bow tie shit, but you didn't do it yet. You see it, but it's the winner and you moving towards it. It's just when you wake up and that's why sometimes as a winner you don't want to fight. Cause we like to win.
Right.
So I don't want to fight. Get it?
Yeah, I got you.
Because that's somebody trying to bring out the worst in you. Cause you're gonna want to win, The fight.
Right.
Yeah, so you
So
gonna
now I
pull out
gotta
all
be
the stops.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. Now, where can they find you at now? Where are you? Any place that like this is where you can catch Jazzy at on Thursday at 8 o'clock or? Yeah.
Actually, this past Thursday, I started an after work situation that's outside. It's called Sticks and Drinks. Shouts to
you can smoke.
Giselle. Yes, cigar smokers.
Cigars.
Please come.
I will be there.
I'm a little bronzed from last week. We watched the sunset because it's
That's right.
outside.
I saw that on your feed. That's
Yeah,
right.
so every Thursday after work at Vista Mall, Sticks and Drinks, Jazzy Joyce, and I renamed them the Sticks and Drinks Band because there's a band as well that plays in between. Like they play a set, then I play it. So it's back and forth, and the food is great. And I had a drink. I'm not a drinker, but I had a drink because the sun was beating, and I was like, that drink looks cute. But it's a really nice drink. Every Thursday.
Every Thursday. That's
go there.
City
Alley.
Yeah, see, that means I got to drive in to
welcome.
work that day because, that's a chuck for me to go
to
City Island back to Jersey. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean,
We'll make it.
it'll be
We'll make it
worth
work.
it.
We'll make
OG?
it do what they do.
Yes, we make it.
It'll be nice
And
to
y'all
see you
smoke
guys.
cigars?
Yeah.
Whew,
Right up
thank
our
you,
alley.
Jesus. 'Cause that's my thing, man. I'm a cigar smoker.
Right after my birthday, right after the art show, which goes down in D.C. from the 14th to the 17th, I come back Tuesday. I'll be at Cielo with DJ Enough and Tony Touch because I'm a Gemini and my birthday is June 20th.
Right.
So we'll actually be bringing in the
Yeah, my
party.
son's a Gemini. Finicky
My
little
daughter's a
dude.
Gemini.
Yeah, we can't help ourselves. And real quick to the Vulcan Society. You know the Vulcan Society. That's the fire department, FDNY crew. I'm doing their 75th anniversary scholarship dinner dance at the El Caribe in Brooklyn. I had to mention that because that's a big thing too.
Yeah. That's definitely what's up right
For
there.
the kids.
For the kids. Gotta be Jazzy Joyce is definitely for the kids.
Yeah.
But listen, Jazzy, we're not gonna keep you much longer, man. We appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us, man. It
I
was
appreciate
definitely a pleasure. You got another question before she go?
Oh, I just had one. I had one more question though. How does it feel having an award named after you?
You talking about Black Girls Rock?
Right.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Beverly Bond. First and foremost, more than the award being named after me, it's I'm proud of what she's accomplished because she's someone who, like myself, broke down a lot of walls. I knew her as a model. She was a model first. Back when there wasn't a lot of chocolate models doing a lot of stuff, and then she went over to DJing. So, and she was always just majorly respectful. So that was her moment of homaging back to me. So, how does it feel? I'm thankful, but I'm more proud of her than the award being named after me, because it means all of the things, or some of the things that I've endured weren't in vain.
Right.
Because it's, it made what I do makes it a little easy for someone else.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if she's that someone else that, okay, my pinky toe's been in the door holding this up, who's gonna come through? And she came through and did something amazing.